Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Goober Central. Now, as you guys know, I'm Drew, and man, I feel like a ghost. But today, we're here, we're breathing, and we're gonna step out of my comfort zone a little bit. This is one of the videos I'm gonna really see if I like doing, and I'm gonna do this at least one more time with Myth. But today, I'm gonna be reviewing TNA Impact Wrestling from May 24th, I believe. Yes, 2012. The first ever TNA Open Fight Night, which was actually, this was Impact Wrestling number 734. Found that out from Hulk Hogan. Because we open up the show with Hulk Hogan in his office with almost said three, it's four at the moment, potential challengers for the TNA World Championship, because the big story tonight is Bobby Roode is on the cusp of becoming the longest reigning TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Now, if he successfully defends the title tonight on Open Fight Night, that honor is his. But let me back up. There was apparently a Battle Royal the week before, and the final four of the Battle Royal went on to be chosen by Hulk Hogan. One of the four will be chosen by Hulk Hogan to challenge Bobby Roode. Those four men are Bully Ray, Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle, and this is banging Nixie Carter allegations, AJ Styles. Now, real quick, I want to say before we get into what Hulk Hogan was saying, Bully Ray got in really, really good shape for this singles run. I got to give him that. But Hulk Hogan starts out, and he is reading the script of the show today. It wouldn't have been so bad if Hulk Hogan was like, "Well, now then, I'm supposed to grill you guys." You know, that wasn't a good Hulk Hogan, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna grill you guys," and like was going over what the show was, and I was like, Why? You know, I mean, I didn't really get that. But he passed it around the room. All four guys looked at it, and then this whole thing is he gets them all in a room. He's giving them the opportunity to win over or sway his decision a little bit on who should face Bobby Roode. AJ Styles says that he doesn't want Bobby Roode to become the longest reigning world champion. Selfish reason, sure, but he wants that. He wants that honor for himself. I get that. Bully Ray says he should get the shot because he's the most dangerous and intimidating guy out of the four of them. Kurt Angle is just saying because he's won the most championships in his career, not just TNA but WWE and New Japan, than anybody else in the room. But Bully Ray, had to correct him. Singles titles, but it is a singles match, to be fair. The coldest response, though, goes to Jeff Hardy.
Let the fans decide.
You think that you deserve a shot at the title because you're Jeff Hardy, because everybody loves Jeff Hardy? Really?
Yeah, it works for me. Your son loves me.
Now, personally, that would have been enough for me to pick Jeff Hardy, but due to a lack of experience in big-time singles matches and only been being a singles wrestler for about a year now, Hulk Hogan eliminates Bully Ray, which then Bully Ray is just devastated. We get to the Impact Zone. Mike Tenay's has on the call for the action. Now, I want to say real quick, Open Fight Night, not a bad idea. Like, this era of TNA had some solid ideas, but man, it doesn't get a good rep, and rightfully so. The first people to come out to the ring, Knockouts champion Gail Kim and Madison Rayne, and we get a shot in the back of the locker room of just the entire. Well, it's like the locker room is like piled up to watch the monitor here. And I was like, man, I really hope that we get Gail Kim versus Eric Young. That'd be pretty sick. Then when I said that, they called out Eric Young and ODB, the happily married couple of TNA. Real quick, Eric Young's gear is insane. That, like, holy shit. And I like ODB. I thought her and EY were a pretty funny duo. Thought the match went a little off the rails after Eric Young did his bit. But then the dude comes in, doesn't want to fight Madison Rayne, And he it's like him hulking up, and he pulled his shorts down. This dude got naked. This dude got a quarter naked just to wrestle Madison Rayne. And he had a little sequence on there, and ODB had to set him straight, you know, wear the pants of the relationship. And Eric Young had to put his back on. But while that is going on, ODB grabs Gail Kim. Madison Rayne trips her. Eric Young just trying to get the impact zone into it. 3 count. New Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Highlight of the match, 100% Eric Young. But we get to the back. The World Champion is in the house, Bobby Roode. And there may be a video, separate video, reviewing his title reign. Maybe, we'll see. But then we get to Hulk Hogan's office again. And I kind of like how TNA shot their segments. I thought that was pretty cool. He's on the phone with somebody, and I said, man, TNA is in love with those kind of angles where it's a mystery person showing up. It's really crazy. But out comes, for our next match, Rob Van Dam, who is, thanks to Mike Toney, I wouldn't have known this, is off of a loss against the world champion Bobby Roode at Sacrifice. It calls out Gunner and calls him boy. Now, thanks to Mike Toney and Taz again, this is a rematch from Genesis all the way back in January. And now these guys had a hot start, and this made a lot of sense, but they gave us a video as to why RVD wants to call out Gunner. Gunner, I think they said hit a DDT on RVD on the ramp or something like that, and RVD got stretchered off. But man, this was pretty much RVD just beating the fuck out of Gunner. It was pretty much, he just beat his ass. But they had a hell of a camera shot of RVD doing the 5-star frog splash. And RVD wins, not very long, but RVD gets his revenge and can hopefully move on. It's very interesting, though, that it took 5 months to get your rematch. Anyways, the next person with someone that they want to call out is the TNA Television / King of the Mountains / Legends champion, Devon. He's going to defend his title, and they cut to Joseph Park in the crowd, which we'll get back to him. There was, again, a battle royal last week, and apparently Garrett Bischoff was the one who eliminated Devon. So he calls out Garrett Bischoff. And I said that Devon is a really good choice to work with the younger guys they want to see something in. And I wrote down that Garrett didn't do too bad. I've never been the biggest Garrett Bischoff fan, so, you know, but these guys worked for not long at all. I wrote down Garrett impressed Devon a bit with a solid neck breaker, but that's all we got out of him pretty much, because the match immediately ended in disqualification when Robbie E and Robbie T came out, and man, I think this ended up being a tag match at Slammiversary. Oh, look, I'm right. But then we get to the back again, and Hulk Hogan is really big on the history between Bobby Roode and AJ Styles. As you know, they were in Fortune, throw them up. Kurt Angle is just a cyborg wrestling machine, you know, getting back on track. And Jeff Hardy is still trying to win over the company's trust and the fans' trust at this point. Key word, though, is still, because it wasn't enough. Jeff Hardy is eliminated from title contention here tonight. I guess being Kurt Angle's favorite wrestler, let me back up again, good lord. I guess being Kurt Angle's kid's favorite wrestler, this isn't good enough for Hulk Hogan. But I digress. Jeff's still trying to redeem himself, so that makes sense. And then there were two, Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. And Hulk Hogan said he has to make his decision in the ring right before the match. AJ leaves. Kurt Angle says, Hulk, you know I can get it done. Hogan said he knows. And then, next up, almost dropped my notes here, is a vignette of the missing Monster Abyss, and that his lawyer brother, Joseph Park, is looking for his brother, and Bully Ray was the one who, I guess, wrote off Abyss, by choking him out with a chain, and that Joseph Park's #1 suspect is Bully Ray. Now, I think Abyss came out recently, so he must not be missing. He must not be very far to say that Joseph Park needs to step away from the fire before he gets burned. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. Out comes Bully Ray. And I did not know he was doing the do you know who I am thing at this point. I thought that kind of started after he joined Aces and Eights and was revealed as the leader. Because of the promo on Hulk Hogan and his decision to eliminate him from a championship match against Bobby Roode, saying that, Hogan made a bad decision, all that stuff. And then he turns his attention, because he's so mad he wants to take it out on somebody, he turns his attention to Joseph Park sitting in the crowd. And he invites Park into the ring. And I wrote down that Abyss is a guy who had great character work. Which, I don't know why I'm saying that about Abyss, because obviously Abyss and Joseph Park are two different people. But he doesn't want to fight with Bully Ray. He doesn't want to fight with him at all. He's not a wrestler. He's not a competitor. And he said, as a lawyer, he's learned that over time, that he can look at a man's eyes and just know when a man is either guilty or not guilty. He said, we're gonna have court right here in the Impact Zone, and our jury is gonna be the fans in the Impact Zone. And I mean, they were already chanting that Bully Ray was guilty. We didn't get the decision hearing yet. We got there though, as they said that Bully Ray was guilty, and Bully Ray took it out on Joseph Park, punched him in the gut, knocked him down, and started beating him with his chain before leaving the ring. And that's he left Joseph Park lying there. But then we're on to Gut Check. We get a Joey Ryan promo on who Joey Ryan is and his backstory. Man, Gut Check. Crazy stuff. But we get to the ring. Al Snow is here. And I think he's gonna give his blessing to Joey Ryan. I might be wrong, even though I think this led to a Bound for Glory match between the two of them. But anyway, they have chosen his opponent for tonight. The Gut Check judges or coaches or whatever. And he is gonna wrestle the X Division champion, the greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries. That's his nickname. Don't take it out of context. Now, I said that the Impact Zone is behind Aries. I got lost in my notes. The Impact Zone is behind Aries, and I said nothing against Austin Aries. He's so good in the ring, but I felt this also during the Joseph Park Bully Ray segment, and I figured I should have known this. There's a comment on the video saying maybe. Oh no, he didn't say maybe. He said these are plants in the Impact Zone, which is crazy. Damn, I forgot about that. I forgot that was a real conversation. But Aries wins with a brainbuster after a pretty solid match. I said once again, Aries is a great worker, and they're building him up to Destination X. Thanks for spoiling, man. But next up, it's decision time. This is a big decision for Hulk Hogan, general manager of Impact Wrestling. Bobby Roode comes out. Bobby Roode's entrance, production-wise, and how they shot it was so good. Like, holy cow. Well, I said, well done, TNA. Oh, yeah, real quick. So they cut to commercial. Brooke Hogan is debuting next week, if anybody cared about that. Now, here we go. Both Bobby Roode and AJ Styles come out. AJ comes out to a remix of one of the remixes of his theme. Not bad. But then I also said that short-haired clean-shaven AJ Styles is pretty cursed now, gotta say, now that you're not used to it. Now you're used to him having, the long hair and the beard. Out comes Kurt Angle, the greatest of all time, in my opinion. I wrote down his TNA theme was also pretty stinking fire. Now, who's Hogan gonna pick? Who's Hogan gonna pick? Hogan comes out here. He's here to make his decision, brother. He says he can do no wrong with his choice. I agree with that. He says he's gotta go with his gut, and he chooses, at this time, the longest reigning TNA World Champion, AJ Styles. So we're gonna get Bobby Roode versus AJ Styles. AJ, and this is, to me, this is the right choice. AJ gives AJ a shot to keep his record, longest reigning. Good lord, let me get back on track. Keep the record of the longest reigning TNA World Champion. And on the other end, Bobby Roode could break it, and the guy he beats for it is the man whose record he's breaking. It's pretty sick. Angle and Styles dap each other up, which is interesting because just wait. But it's main event time. I was a big fan of this TNA World Championship. I don't know about anybody else, and that Mike Toney called this a pay-per-view caliber title match, which he's right. But AJ Styles also has already wrestled Bobby Roode. Not that I'm complaining. Twice on pay-per-view. I think he was Bobby Roode's first 2 pay-per-view title defenses. But I said that Bobby Roode did a lot of cowering from the start. AJ Styles has a fantastic drop kick. And I looked at the time in the video originally, thought this was kind of a funny story. It was disappointing because I was like, man, these guys are only gonna have like 7 minutes. Then I realized this isn't the entire match. So TNA came in clutch because they posted this match on YouTube, and I watched it from there. After commercial, though, AJ Styles is back on top, and we get to this is really bad. I don't like these notes anymore. Roode takes over after AJ Styles has a little bit of shine, throwing AJ into the ring post. Bobby starts working the arm after that in different ways. So the story of the match was he's going to work the arm. And then I wrote down that Styles, they got back in the ring. Styles got back on top, did a big dive. Then he keeps looking around for Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. He gets off track. Bobby Roode, the it factor, takes advantage. Hip toss on the steps. Good lord. Then we get a picture-in-picture shot of someone backstage telling Hulk Hogan that his guest is here, and he lets out a crazy-ass laugh before we go to commercial. Also, another commercial they kept showing. It was the Memorial Day sale, and they kept plugging that they have veterans on the roster, which I knew. So thank you for your service to Mr. Anderson, Crimson, and Gunner. Thumbs up. Roode is on offense, and as today said, Styles losing focus changed the flow of the match in favor of Bobby Roode. But it looks like AJ Styles is getting on track. I wrote down because they did a spot where AJ was on the apron and did the shoulder block into the gut. And Bobby Roode took it and bumped. I said Bobby Roode is so good at taking moves like that. And after that, AJ Styles going to springboard, phenomenal forearm. It was pretty. Hell yeah. And he got a 2 count off of that. Bobby Roode goes for a superplex later on in the match. AJ Styles headbutts him down. Hits another really pretty top rope drop kick. That was another near fall. And we see AJ, I think, go for... Again, I don't like my notes anymore. Roode kicked the... Oh, I see. Okay. So, Bobby Roode, I think, whipped AJ off. Boot or something like that. Booted his arm. And then... But AJ Styles, that didn't last long. AJ Styles goes for the Styles Clash. Roode gets out of it. Styles... Okay, so... Roode ducked something. Styles Got on the second rope. Lands on his feet. So Roode ducked that. And Roode hits a spear. I think that was another 2 count. And I think these notes, man, they're killing me. And I wrote them. Roode locks in the crossface after. But not for long. Because AJ Styles gets out of it and locks in Muda lock slash chancery, whatever you want to call it, on Roode. But Roode gets to the ropes. Styles gets him up for the Styles Clash again. Roode backdrops him. Styles gets up, spine buster, then picks him up for the Fisherman Suplex, only for the 2 count. He's going for the Fisherman again, which apparently this was his finish at the time. Didn't know that. Styles breaks free, ducks, and hits a Pele kick. Nobody hits a Pele kick like AJ Styles. And I mean, nobody. Man, Styles can't stay focused because he kept looking around. But going for a springboard 450, him not being focused costs him because Bobby Roode puts the knees up when he goes for it. And then another Fisherman Suplex for the 3 count. Bobby Roode retains and is now the longest reigning TNA World Champion at this point. Because Josh Alexander broke his record already. But I wrote down, did Bobby Roode not use the Roode Bomb yet? But really, I said pretty good match. Sure, they've had better. And to celebrate the shortcoming of AJ Styles, out comes Daniels and Kazarian, Bad Influence. And I said, man, they're happy about this. Don't worry. Because it gets much, much worse. Now, I thought this was the end of the show, but no. Bobby Roode gets on the mic, and he wants to celebrate now him being the longest reigning TNA World Champion. He pops the champagne, has the cups, and he hulks out. Good Lord, he invites Hulk Hogan to come drink with him. I would have picked a different guy to celebrate with, but you know I don't judge. It's your celebration. We got confetti here, and here comes Hulk Hogan. Confetti's glad he's not a betting man, because he had money against him. But he said he knew he was good, but he didn't know how good he really was. Hogan, he's been your champion for 6 months. What do you mean, dude? But he tells him congrats, but that Bobby Roode needs to realize that the hard work has just begun, and I guess this is Hulk Hogan's big guest. He said that someone else is out here to celebrate with him, and Bobby Roode goes, No, I don't want anybody else. I don't want anybody else. The lights go out, and oh my God, it's Sting! It's Sting! Sorry. Bobby Roode sold this so good. He looked like he shat his fucking pants. It was so funny. But Sting, got a little bit of a shit in, got a splash in, Stinger splash, and sends Roode over the top rope. This has happened too many times in this fucking video. And he gives Hulk Hogan a big smooch on the cheek, which I thought Hulk Hogan would hate, but hey man, Hulk Hogan said it's showtime after, so. But I thought this was kind of, Hulk Hogan was going to announce that this was going to be the Slammiversary main event, because Bobby Roode does wrestle Sting. That Slammiversary. Thanks for spoiling. But no, before that, we're going to have a lumberjack match between the two of them next week, and it ends with Bobby Roode saying, that was the end of the show. Show was okay. I mean, it was whatever. I probably wouldn't watch it again. Bobby Roode and James Storm was my favorite match of the night, of course. Eric Young, crazy. But yeah, I really don't know how good I did at reviewing. I'm really not. This is really uncomfortable for me, to be completely honest with you. So if you guys liked it, thank you. But I guess I'll get out of here now. So you can find me. You can find my wrestling YouTube, Drew Toney, if you want to watch stunners and some of my other friends in wrestling. And you can then find me on Instagram at @RealDrewToney. You can find me on Facebook, Drew Toney. You can find me on TikTok at @RealDrewToney. Not on there much, but I'm there. And please, 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 please join our server, Goober. It ain't easy. It's a fun little place. You'd enjoy it. And if you want to listen to if you want some more Goober, listen to the Goober playlist. It's a lot of fun. It has every emotion imaginable when you think of music. It's a roller coaster ride. I mean, it really, really is. But yeah, thank y'all for watching this. I think we have one more review we're gonna do with Myth, and then I'll see how I'm feeling about it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Heard you on a nigga that's gon' please you. Suck your toes, dick it down, please you. She say, "Bam, nasty," I say, "Me too."